Erasing all my flaws. What the fuck's a loss? Erasing all my flaws. What the fuck's a loss? What's good, you guys? It's your boy KT, and I am back with episode 3 of Who is KTGODUMB? Who is the man behind the brand? The face that runs this place? That's me, KT. We are on episode 3. So I'm out here in nature. I'm in the woods, smoking a blunt. I'm chilling. I'm really just, being reflective out here. I just got off the phone with my homie, man, and it was a good conversation. So today's episode of Who is KTGODUMB? This is the episode where I really talk about like my why. The first episode, I told y'all who is Khalid. Oh, I'm looking at a slug. It's a snail. Nice. I told y'all who Khalid was. Khalid. The real me. Second episode, I introduced y'all to KTGODUMB, and how I came up. So now this episode is just my why, and I really go over like why I keep going, why I really make music, why my brand is my brand. So I said it last episode, but it's just like part of why I make music. It's fun. Like I'll tell y'all straight up, like I enjoy it. Like it's a very fun thing to do, to make your own, making your own beats, making music by yourself, making your own songs. It's a fun process. Like literally, like I'm pretty sure most of us, most of y'all watching this, y'all have had moments where you're on the bus freestyling, or you're just, rapping the type beats. That's kind of what I was doing. Like in high school, like, like I said, I always enjoyed production. I always enjoyed like crazy sounding beats. That's something I've enjoyed always. And, I always have fun, just having rap battles on the bus. Like as an athlete, that's essential to the bus ride home or bus ride to and from. But stuff like that, I was never really like trying to be a serious rapper at first. And then when I learned about production, like I said, it's like I just wanted to, I wanted to make production like that. I wanted to make crazy ass shit, that I wanted to make stuff that people could freestyle to. I wanted that type of vibe, because that's what that's what I'd be doing in college all the time. Like well, not all the time, but I would get high, listen to some tunes, hotbox, and, throw on some tight beats, and folks would freestyle. Hold up, y'all. I'm trying to. So, like I was saying, damn, where was I? I just always wanted to make beats that people could freestyle over and vibe to. Like I just always wanted people to hear my music and they have a good time and they vibe to it. You know, that's with my beats. Like I'm all about folks having a good time. Just folks like feeling themselves. Like that's me. Like I'm just one encouraging ass motherfucker. You might not always see it in me because I'm quiet. Like if you really talk to me though, like you would really see, like, I really want to see folks win. I want to see people win. And I feel like if I can contribute to that, or if I can aid you in your journey, I'm more than willing to do that. Like I want to help uplift people in any way that I can. And I feel like, I felt music was something I could do it with. I felt music was something I could do it with and I could connect people with. So it really took me a long time to get to the point I'm at. Is really what I'm saying. Because when I was 19 years old, like it wasn't this clear then. Because like I said, like I was really doing it for fun then. Like I didn't think about money. I didn't think about like nothing about it like it, other than I'm having fun making my music. But like I really questioned my music a lot at first. Like I questioned it a lot. Folks is calling me already. Um, I mean, I was a newbie. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what an 808 was. I didn't know what a snare was. I didn't know what these different synths were. I mean, I barely knew how to play piano, but it's just like I knew how something should sound. I knew how something I had an idea of how something a song should feel, and I went with that. So I'm gonna be honest, like I was using loops at first. Like I would go to Looper Man, or people would send loops or have loops online. I mean, sometimes I did pay for loops too, but I would just use people's loops and I would add my own drums. I'm gonna be honest, like the drums is the most fun part of production, but it's also one of the most like simplest parts too. I mean, it ain't too hard to lay in some drums, lay in a pattern, but to really, I would say, to really understand drum making is to really understand like the drums carry the vibe of the song. If your drums like whatever type of, if you want to make a reggaeton beat, you would tell by the way the drums and percussion are. A trap beat, drums and percussion. A lot of different styles just comes down to the different, you know, percussion patterns and the way the kicks and 808s are set up. So that was stuff. I mean, that was stuff I learned, but I was insecure about it. Like I said, I didn't know how to play instruments. I was just doing drums. I was just doing drums, and I'm gonna be honest, like I would get discouraged because it's like it was hard to find. It was hard to really find genuine people that wanted to collab. It felt like a lot of people like they would only want to collab with certain people, which I get it. Like you would want to only work with certain energies or certain people only work operate in certain energies, but then it was times where it's just like I don't know. A lot of people didn't want to work with me at first, and it's like that I could get over, but it's like I really just felt like I didn't really have I didn't have like a support group like I do now, so I didn't really have people I could go to for advice. So it's like I just felt like a lot of people I came across, it's like they really wasn't it wasn't fucking with me for one, but it's like they definitely wasn't really trying to like help uplift my sound. It just felt more so they were trying to, you know, further their purpose, their goal and cause, and whatever. I didn't want to just always just be a part of somebody else's thing. I wanted to also be my own thing with producing. So I say I had to get over that insecurity of just only using loops, and like I can tell you now, it's like I really don't use loops that much now, which is crazy because it's like a lot of my best songs are loops, but a lot of my best songs are also samples too. So give you a little piece of food for thought there. But I just don't use loops as much anymore, and I'll tell you, I'm not one to judge you. Like I'm not gonna judge you because you use loops or you do this or do that. Like you make music how you make music. But I will say, like, I just think there's more creative methods than just using loops. And that's why, I moved out of just only using loops. Like, I would say if I use a loop now, I'm taking stems from that loop and I'm switching it up still. Like I'm doing more, like you would have to do more than just a loop. And another thing with using loops is like, especially like using Looper Man, something like Looper Man, like anybody can go on there and download loops. Like some of the best songs out use loops from Looper Man. Like it was a Erase Your Social by Lil Uzi Vert. That was a Looper Man loop. So you can make stuff with it, but everybody has access to it. And then I don't know. It's a royalty free rep website, but then people still want you to pay for their loops and stuff. So it's like, and I had somebody get on me too, because I didn't give him credit for it, and it's just like I didn't mind giving dude credit. I just didn't know it was that deep with him. But dude wanted to get my beat taken down. Granted, like the beat didn't blow up. It probably had like 20, 30 views to it. Brad gonna comment on my YouTube section talking about, oh, bro, you need to take this down, or uh you need to credit me, or I'm going to contact my lawyers. And it's like I credited him, but it's like I damn near wanted to take the beat down because it's like, dude, you gonna sue me over a beat that I didn't sell to anybody and only has 30 views. I'm like, come on, dog. Like there's better things we can do. So that was really another reason why I just stayed away from loops, because it's like you just never know who else is using it. So it's like I couldn't always guarantee that this song was my song, you know? And it really just came down, it really, when it comes to that, it's just ownership of my song. I don't want to deal with problems with lawyers or somebody trying to sue me because we use the same loop, and he upset because he only wants his song to be used. Like that's a side of music business I try to stay away from. That's why I produce myself. I don't have to deal with that when I produce for myself. So when it comes to collabing, like I said, a lot of people didn't really want to fuck with me. They were looking for a specific sound, which, like I said, I understood. I could understand. So I had to find people that was like on my level. You know, I did find a couple of people. It's not like I didn't find anybody. I was able to find people here and there. Even people just trying to freestyle, who would just freestyle over my beats here and there. Like that still did something to me, because it's like you got a vibe from my creation. But it's just like, it was just, I would say it was some dudes, like some folks do move shady when it comes to newcomers. And it's like they try to get over on dudes. Like, it was one situation I remember, like I made a beat for this dude. And his homie came over. His homie pulled up to the studio that same day, and he heard that same beat I was cooking up. And he said, "Oh, I want this beat too." You know, this and that. He was asking me, what's the price, this and that, da da da. I ain't even gonna lie. I wasn't talking price at this point, but I told bro, I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I had this beat. I plan on using this beat with him. I plan on giving him the beat. So it's like, I don't want to give multiple people a beat. I wasn't trying to be like I wasn't trying to be sleazy with my beats. And then, I send the dude, I come to find out, I asked the other dude, I asked the original dude, I'm like, all right, bro, like, I gave you a beat. I already gave him a beat for free. So I'm like, all right, bro. So I'm gonna give you this beat, but like you gotta pay for it. You gotta pay for this one now, because your homie over there said he would pay for it. So it's like, if he would pay for it, then you probably should be paying for it too. And dude kind of went off on me. He kind of went off on me. He's like, I'm gonna be honest. He's like, I gotta spend money on engineering. I gotta spend money on this. I gotta spend money on that. And I have all these fire ass producers, bro. Like, I don't like. Why would I pay? Why would I pay you for it? Is what he said. So it's like, I have all these fire ass producers who produce stuff for me for free. So I ain't gonna lie. At the time, I kind of was like, damn. Like, I guess and I regret it now. I regret to say it, but it's like I ended up giving him the beat. I gave him the beat, but I honestly stopped working with dude after that, because that showed me it's like he ain't really fuck with me he ain't really fuck with me like that. I don't really like working. I don't work with people who don't fuck with me and don't fuck with my energy like that, for real. And I just felt like that was kind of disrespectful, because it's not even like I came at him crazy. I just said, like, look, like, your homie said he would pay for it, so it's like, why can't you? And I wasn't asking for nothing crazy, but he got other fire ass producers, so stuff like that would discourage me too. It really would discourage me from working with artists, because I just felt like, folks is just gonna try to get over on me. Folks wasn't taking my music serious. And it's like, not only that, it's like I have artists, acting this way, and then I have other producers that are telling me, oh, you shouldn't give your beats away for free. And I'll say, like, situations like that, you shouldn't. But at the same time, it's just like, if you're a newer producer, there's nothing wrong with giving a person or two like some free beats here and there. There's nothing wrong with it. But understand the value you bring. You gotta understand the value that you bring to a situation. And I feel like, a lot of young producers and young artists, they don't always understand the value that they bring. That was something I had to learn. I'm still, and like, I'm really coming into it now, the type of value that I bring into the musical world. So really, stuff like that kind of like is what also got me to start rapping myself more, because I wasn't about to wait on people. Like, I knew I had fire beats. I knew what I was making was fire. I wasn't questioning it all the way like that. So it's like, I knew like somebody could rap over some of these beats. So I started off mumble rapping. Like I would mumble rap. I wouldn't always have the words, but I would try to mumble through a flow, and eventually like I would like build off of that flow. I would build off of a flow and try to find the words for it. And that's how songs got made. I wrote a couple songs like, to the top. Like that was something I just wrote in my car listening to a beat. And I didn't shut like I kept that song in the vault for years before I showed anybody because I just I didn't really fully like I wasn't fully confident with what I was saying or like me being an artist. I just felt like I'm just doing it for fun, and I mean I kind of was. I kind of was. I didn't want to be a rapper at first. I wanted to be a producer. I still want to be a producer. So when it came to rapping and being an artist, it's these bugs out here, y'all. When it came to being an artist, like I wrote about, I try to like keep it somewhat realistic. I try to write about my life. I write about just relationships I've been through. Like I would definitely say that was definitely one of the biggest points of writing at first, just venting about my relationship problems, what's going on with people I'm dating. Not only people I'm dating, but just talking about like people in general around me, like people that, I felt like were supposed to be my friends, but they really weren't. Just talking about people doubting me. And then ultimately, like that type of stuff is what got me to really get into more like inspirational and motivational stuff. Cause I'll tell y'all, like I try to be a rapping rapper, like just like dudes in the street, like, cause that's what I felt like people really was gravitating towards. That's what people wanted to hear, but I wasn't no street dude. I might have looked like one, but I really wasn't. I'm not no street dude. That's not the type of life I live, and I don't want to be a rapper that just raps about a life he doesn't live. Like I didn't want to be that. You know, Granted, I just didn't know how to rap about it at first, and that's something I learned over time. You know, like I would definitely say like relationships was definitely one of the biggest motivations because when I first started making music, like I was going through like a toxic relationship, that I've been in for years. I have been in that for years. That's a man that relationship in general is a story in itself. But I had that toxic ex, and this is like that kind of it kind of I wanted to write about it. I thought I was Juice World. I felt like Juice World at times because of stuff like that, and it's like I would try to write about heartbreak and being cheated on, and just dealing with toxic relationships. And then on top of that, I'll tell y'all this story. I dated this girl all of high school, and then we broke up my junior year, and then we date again in college because I don't know, we just date again. Like if I ever talk about like a relationship in my songs, or if I talk about heartbreak, like my Foolish Heart album, a lot of those songs or that emotion was built off of the toxic relationship I was in. Like I would say, like in high school, like I got cheated on by this girl multiple times in high school, and I stayed. I didn't respect myself enough, so I stayed. And I didn't realize, I could do better at the time. So I stayed until, I got sick of it. So in college, she matured a little bit. She matured a little bit, but she was still the same person. She just wasn't cheating on me. She was more loyal to me, but like she was crazy over me. And it's like, I want somebody that's crazy over me, but I don't want somebody that be acting crazy too. And it's like we would fight and argue all of the time over nonsense. Sometimes it wasn't nonsense, but sometimes it just didn't need to be an argument like it was. And we would just fight all the time. And it was just a lot of different like things in the relationship that we both like both of us we both should have just left each other alone, but we stayed together for years to the point where it's like it felt like my old friend group and my ex-girlfriend, like they're competing with each other for my time and attention. And that's the other thing, like my friends back then were just as toxic as her. Like I really don't know who's worse. But like, they were just assholes. They were assholes, but I'm like, a lot of guys are assholes. A lot of us are assholes to each other, but these dudes were just, they were just assholes. And it's like, it got to a point like, dude, they just were just being too disrespectful to me, like just talking to me crazy any time of way. And it's just like, or any type of way. And like, I'm not, like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm not on no timing like that. Like, dudes getting upset at me because I don't get on the game. But it's like, bruh, like, niggas don't always ask me to get on the game. And it's like, and then when I do, folks don't want to get on or they busy. You know, folks don't really always ask me to kick it. Like, I'll ask people to smoke, but they don't want to smoke or they're kicking it with some girl. So it's like, but then you get upset at me over shit like that. And it's just like stuff wasn't making sense. And it's just like, I remember like the boiling point of that old friend group was I just remembered, mind you, I'm in college. I played football. This is, well, yeah, this is after COVID or like during COVID, like when we were able to go outside and stuff. Like I'm juggling a lot and a relationship, you know, that I'm thinking is going to turn into a marriage at the time. But I felt bad because I felt like I wasn't talking to my friends enough. We weren't hanging out. We weren't playing the game. We weren't kicking it. I miss my friends, and it's like I feel like, dang, like maybe I am being distant. Maybe I'm not spending enough time with my friends. So you know, I drove. So I live like 40 minutes away from my hometown. So I drove back home, and I pulled up on like one of my friends in the friend group, and I said like, look, man, like I'm sorry if I'm being distant. Like, I'm just all these bugs, y'all. Like, I'm just busy. Like, I have school, I have football, you know, I have a whole relationship, you know, which takes time away. It's just like, you know, I want to kick it with y'all more. I want to, you know, get on the game more with y'all, but I just don't always have the time for it. And, you know, bruh told me, it's like, you know, I appreciate you being real for that. Now, let me tell you something real. And come to find out, you know, a homie I consider my bro and my best friend, you know, he's just been talking, he's talking shit on me. You know, he's saying like, oh, his girl runs the pants in a relationship, his girl runs the relationship. He Colin's a bitch. You know, his girl's a slut, his girl's a whore. I could fuck his bitch. And it's just like that just it took me back. Cause it's like to me, I'm coming over here and I'm basically telling y'all like, look, like I'm my bad if I'm being distant. My bad, this and like I'm sorry if I'm being distant. And then I'm basically getting told like these niggas don't really fuck with me. And they want to fuck my bitch too. So I cut bro off. Like I didn't it didn't even need to be a conversation with dude at that point. Cause it's like we've been friends for years. You know, like I claim you to be my brother and this is how you're talking about me. Not only me, but then you're talking about my woman. Cause it's like if he had just was talking about me, that would have been one thing. But I'm like, you bringing my woman into this. Like, come on, dog. That's low. I killed this bug, y'all. That's pretty low. So I blocked him. Me and the ex blocked him. And the next day, bro sends like a fucking essay, a fucking 2-page essay basically cussing me out and calling me all different types of names and then calling my ex a slut, you know? So it's like, I made the right choice. Bro, this, I swear, like, and honestly, I'll say the other friend is just as bad because he kept on instigating shit too. But like, bro would just talk shit. Like, he was just little things. Like, he would send the friend to me and the friend would be telling me, oh, so and so said that you're a bitch. So and so won't even say call you Kyle anymore. He just says bitch boy. Just stupid childish stuff. And it's like it was annoying. Like it got so annoying. Like it was times I would rage and get so frustrated over it because in my mind, you're my friend. Like I trust you. I'm supposed to trust you. But it's just like I can't trust you. I can't trust somebody who's over here just talking down on my name. He thinks I'm a bitch. He thinks I'm weak. And then he's over here talking about you want to fuck on my bitch. Like, and then you get mad at me because I'm siding. And it's like, yeah, my girl, she was toxic. Look, she was toxic, but at least she had my back. You know, she had my back. Well, she had my back when things got real, I should say, because I'll get into that in a moment. But it's like, what do you expect, dude? Like, why would I side with somebody who's calling me a bitch? You know, calling me out my name, and then it's just like you're disrespecting my woman too. It's like if it's something about her that you don't like, as my friend, as my best friend, you should be able to, as a man, you should be able to have a conversation with me and be like, hey, your girl is doing XYZ and I don't like it and I don't agree with it. And that can be a conversation. I don't think and it's not like I would go going off on him. Like, now, if you come up to me and just be like, your girl's a slut and I don't like her, like, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Cause it's like, bruh, like, you disrespecting my lady. But if you said, like, if you give me a reason why, and then we have that conversation, it's like we can have that conversation. But it was never a conversation about that. It was just straight to, oh, he's a bitch, his girl's a slut. And then you want to smile in my face. You want to smile in my face, but then you're also just acting rude, for no reason. And it's like, and then you want to get upset at me because I don't want to put up with that. Like, make it make sense, chat. Make it make sense. So this shit was going on for months. And we even tried, me and my ex even tried to sit down and be like, all right, let's have this conversation. Do you know what he said? He said no, because I feel like we'd get into a fight. Y'all notice, I never said a single thing about fighting. I got folks strolling by. But what was I saying? I just don't understand how somebody expects you to be their friend after something like that. But then it's just like, but then you want to fight me over this too. And it's just like, I didn't even say a single thing about fighting you. I wasn't even trying to fight you. I didn't really want to fight you. Like, the type of person I am, it's like, if you're really my friend, like, I'm not a violent person. I don't like answering things with violence, because it's a senseless thing to do. It's really the senseless thing to do. But I'll admit, it's times niggas should have gotten smacked. It's times people should have gotten smacked. Like, I'll admit, it's like, it was another person in the friend group. Like I said, this friend group is just fucked up in general. Another dude sent my ex a dick pic for, like, and his reason, and honestly, like, the dude is retarded to this day. Because I'm like, bro, like, you were not thinking. Brad sends a dick pic to my girl, claiming, oh, I meant to send it to my girlfriend because he was dating somebody. He sends it to my girl as an accident, and he's gonna ask he gonna ask, like, is it big? I probably should have smacked him. I probably should have smacked him, because that was really foolish of him. But like I said, like, I don't want to do that. I'm a black man in America. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm a black man in America. If I answer things with violence, I'm just gonna be another statistic. They're gonna look at me as a statistic. Oh, he's an angry black man who, he can't handle his emotions. They're gonna send me to jail. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna get time. So it's like, and I don't want no problems with the law. Like I said, I'm not a street dude. I don't handle things like that. I handle things professionally. I handle things, not like that. Not in a street fashion. But like I said, this shit was really getting to me. Like I said, you got one person sending my girl a dick pic. You got this dude calling her a slut, calling me out my name, and then talking about you want to fuck my girl. And then every day it's just like, you're just talking shit on me. And then you don't even want to have a conversation because you want to fight me. And it's just like, I don't even understand why bro want to fight me. Like, that's the thing I don't understand. Like, you want to fight me, but I have every reason to fight you. But I just decided to cut you off because I'm 22 years old, dude. Like, or I'm 21 years old. Like, why am I about to deal with shit like this? We're adults. We're supposed to be grown adults. Why are we handling shit like we in high school still? But it's just like, I don't know. Like I said, it's also the fact I should have cut off the middleman too, because him going back and forth, sending messages, like, that shit wasn't helping. And even he was trying to get in my head and be like, oh, you should fight these niggas. You should do this and that. Like I said, I'm not a fighting nigga. I'm not out here trying to look for fights. I don't like fighting. I don't like fighting. I'm be honest. If I'm fighting, I'm defending my life, or I'm fighting to kill. Like, and it's like, it sounds extreme, but it's just, in my mind, it's just like, I don't do this friendly sparring. I don't do, like, I'm trying, like, if I'm fighting somebody, it's like, I want to knock your head off. I can't do that in a friendly fashion. Maybe I just don't have that discipline. Maybe I just know, what I be on, but that's just not the type of person I am. So all of 2021, this goes on. And mind you, me and my ex's relationship is falling apart. We fighting, arguing all the fucking time, bruh. Like shit's falling apart at the same time. Like it was to a point we technically weren't even together, but we was still fucking with each other. Like weird shit. So things come to a blow by the end of that year. It's the end of 2021, and we all us niggas from the friend group, we get put in a group chat by the middleman, and he's basically saying like, if somebody has anything to say, they need to get it off. At that time, I really wasn't even trying to. I wasn't even trying to talk. I really wasn't even trying to argue. But it's just like it made me paranoid because it made me feel like it gave me setup vibes because it was like it was out of nowhere. It's like I'm not really talking to dude like that, and it's like it was just out of nowhere, and surprising. It's just like I wasn't on that. But it's just like it's like what got to me is just like they would like the dude basically was sending like, and it's like the way it was. I don't know the way it was done. It was just so weird and meticulous, but dude basically said like I'm not looking to be your friend. I'm not looking to be your friend. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me, but I'm not reaching out to you. And it's just like that pissed me off because for one, I said you're not about to treat me like I'm just some loser ass nigga and like we just wasn't cool, like we wasn't buddies or shit like that. And then just throw me, you not just about to discard me like that. But like I said, I'm paranoid. I'm not even really thinking about that. I'm just thinking they trying to run some game on me. Or they're just trying to do some shit. So I go right to the source. I go right to the target. And I text him directly. I tell him, if you have a problem with me, you need to let me know. Fuck you, you're a bitch, da da da, this and that, da da da. So it's the same shit. And it's like the thing with bro is just like he just talks shit. It's like he's not even trying. It's not even like bro is trying to have a conversation. He's just trying to insult me. And it's just like that shit. It got tiring. And it's just like, and then it's like we was doing that for a minute, just talking about whatever. And then I ain't even gonna lie, I was just arguing. I was low key just arguing with him at that point. I can't even say I was having a productive argument, and I'll admit that. So, bruh drops his address. He drops his address and is like, "Well, you can pull up on me, bruh. Like I'm tired of this talking." And it's just like, bruh, you lame. Stop acting like I don't know where you live. Stop acting like we haven't met each other's parents and shit, bro. Like it's like bruh's trying to act overly tough. He wants to fight. I'll admit, like I still wasn't trying to fight. Like I really wasn't trying to fight him. I really was not trying to fight him. But my ex, she was through. She was through because her reasoning was he called her a whore and I didn't say anything on it. I didn't defend her name. I'm gonna be honest, like I really wasn't taking the argument as seriously as I probably should have. So she says, like, no, now we actually are going to come. Oh, it's an ant on my screen. I keep jumping because of these bugs, yo. I gotta get out of here soon. But no, she's saying like no, like we're going to this house and we're pulling up. Like we're not doing none of that shit. And it's just like I don't really want to pull up. But it's just like in my mind, it's like if I don't go, she's definitely going to leave me. So I admit at the time, it's just like she shouldn't have did that. I don't think she should have did that because it's like you're putting you basically you want me to go out there and fight for your honor when it's like really like why should we give a fuck about this nigga? Like he don't really fuck with us and he's not doing anything for us other than just trying to get us to fight. But I don't know, masculine energy this, masculine energy that. So she says we gotta pull up. And you know what's funny? The middleman pulled up with him. He was already there with him. So it's like he's expecting a fight. Almost like they're expecting a fight, right? I don't really want to fight. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really wasn't trying to fight. Call me a bitch, call me soft, this and that. That's just not how I want to handle things. Now, if you hit me, I'm gonna fight you. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna fight back, but I'm not going to go into it I'm not I don't know. All I can say is I don't always throw the first punch when I get into fights. I put it like that. So the plan was when we got there, she was going to say her part, I was going to say my part. And if we fought, we fought. Honestly, it sounds really slow, but fuck it. We ball. So pull up. I'm tense. It's tense. It's already tense. And bruh on some funny shit. He like, oh, stay 6 feet away, stay, COVID. And I'm like, whatever, dude. They get to talking, whoopty whoop. Like, bruh, it's like, bruh is just, he's just trying to like I felt like bro was just trying to piss people off. Like he was acting like he didn't know what my ex was talking about. He would just act slow. He would just be sarcastic, and it's like it was annoying. But it's just like I just had to keep my cool. I was trying to keep my cool, and I kept my cool for the most part. I would say what really threw me off was when the middleman started just trying to have a casual conversation mid argument, like not mid argument, but like mid, you know, this fucking canon moment. This is a canon moment, and you trying to be like, "What's up, Khaled? How you doing? This and that." And I'm like, "Why are you doing this in the middle of the argument?" And that's what it's like. I ain't even gonna lie. It's like my spidey senses start tingling. Or I ain't gonna call it spidey senses. I'm gonna call it my bullshit senses started singing or tinging, tingling or whatever. And it's just like I low key started tweaking out on niggas. I started tweaking out because I felt like niggas was just trying to run game on me, and I felt like niggas was just wasting time. And it's just like I'm not gonna lie. It's just like it just felt like I exploded. Like I exploded like with emotion. Like I full on broke down because it's like I just felt like I never had felt so confused and like just I didn't know what to do. And it's just like I really didn't want to fight, but it's just like, yeah, it's almost like, that was like my soul telling me like you have to fight. You're going to have to fight. And it's just like I really didn't want to fight somebody I considered my brother and my friend, but he was so ready to fight me. He just to me, I was just, I was just a obstacle. I was just a battle in his way. I was just another enemy in his way, in his path, and that's never what I wanted to be. That's never what I would have intended to be with somebody. But I'm turning up. I'm turning up. I'm fucking full of emotion, and it's just like my ex gets in my face. She calms me down. She's trying to caress me and just calm me down. She tells me just go back to the car. Just go back to the car. I go to the car because I'm embarrassed at this point. I'll be honest, I'm embarrassed. Like I just, I'm crying. I'm bawling my eyes out, and he just looking at me like this nigga's gay, which really pissed me off because it's like you think it's about like I don't know that shit kind of pissed me off too because I'm emotional. I'm gay. I hate niggas like that, but like I got in the car and then this bitch ass nigga he gonna record me. He's gonna record me while I'm in the car talking shit, and you know I really can't do anything because I'm being blocked by two people. I'm being blocked off by two people. So it's just kind of like, I just feel embarrassed. I just sit in the car and that's that. I'm just too embarrassed to even say what I want to say. And it's just like, bro, the way bro's demeanor was, he felt like he got the one up on me. He did. He did. And, my ex finished the conversation with him. And honestly, it's like, I wish I finished or said my part instead of her because she didn't represent me that well. She didn't. Honestly, at that point, it's just like, and I remember they tried to say something that was about like the way my parents raised me too. They tried to say my parents didn't raise me right. It was kind of fucked up that she said that, but it's like it's kind of fucked up if for anybody to tell me my parents didn't raise me or my siblings right, knowing the way we grew up. But she was not happy. She was not happy with that. Let me tell y'all. You know, she was very upset at me. She kind of like went like to her that was like the final strike. That was kind of like and her reasoning was she said she felt that I couldn't protect her. She felt because of that moment I couldn't protect her. She told me while I was working at Amazon that another nigga ate her out in the parking lot and that she was going to be with that nigga. When I tell y'all that was 2022, the beginning of 2022 was a very very rough time. It was a very low moment for me. I lost my not only did I lose my friend group, I lost the respect of, my friend group, and I lost the respect of, my woman, and then she left me. Like she straight up dumped me in one of the worst ways possible. And it's just like I never felt so alone in my life. When I tell you like it felt like life hit I started back at level 1. After that relationship ended and all that shit happened, it just felt like life hit a big ass reset button. And when I tell you, it's just like society changed. Like I just like life just felt different. It felt so different because I was so used to, having this girlfriend around, having, this friend group around, and, it was gone. Like, I really looked at people differently after that. It really changed my perspective. Honestly, like, that's when I really, it's just like, that's when I really just became, like, I became extremely introverted. I became extremely introverted. Like, I wouldn't go outside. I wouldn't really talk to people. I would just be in my room. I would go to the gym here and there, and I think around that time I had stopped playing football by then. So it's like, it's not like I had football I could go back to. And even then, like, I just like it just I felt like, people on the football team looked at me like a quitter because I stopped playing football. I kind of like I lost the passion for the game, and it's crazy because at one point, I was telling myself in high school, I'm gonna make it to the NFL. I'm gonna grind my way up. I'm working my way up. I'm the biggest underdog. I can be the biggest underdog ever, but I know that I'm great and I can make it somewhere. And it was a crazy time. Like, I lost a lot of I lost passion for a lot of things I liked. Like, I stopped really messing with sneakers. I wasn't really that much of a sneakerhead anymore. I was selling my shoes. I sold all my grails or I was giving them away. I really didn't care about clothes, and I like clothes. I like clothes, like, not like a fashion. I'm not a fashion dude, but like, I just like clothes. I like being able to dress. I didn't really care about, a lot of shit then. And it's just like, I was just in a low point. I really didn't know how to get out of it. And it's just like, I felt powerless. Like, I just felt like I wasn't shit. That moment, it made me feel like I wasn't shit. I would never, you know, I'm not going to say that I would never be shit. But like, it definitely at times it just felt like, I was just gonna be in this low point forever. I'm a nobody. Like, I really just, it made me feel like I was a nobody. And then I definitely, like, I don't know, I really started to see how people look at introverts because it's like, it just felt like nobody ever really wanted to talk to me. And I don't know if it's just because, the way my demeanor was. Maybe it was, or it's just like, maybe I just looked too mean. Maybe I just didn't look like I wanted to be bothered. And I mean, I can understand that. Sometimes I really didn't, sometimes I don't want to be bothered. Sometimes I don't, but other times it's like, I don't mind. You can say what's up. It just didn't really feel like people would approach me. I just felt like nobody would really approach me, or it's just like people wouldn't talk to me, but they would talk at me. They would talk about me, but they never really talk to me. And it's just like, it would take like weeks, months sometimes to really build up the courage or like anything to just say hi to anybody, you know? Not even just talking about girls, because it's like, girls, like, trust me, like, I was cooked with girls at the time. But like, I felt like I couldn't even talk to somebody as a friend. But it's just like, my trust was just so fucked up because I just felt like somebody was gonna, not only that, but it's like, I just also just felt like if people heard my story, they would just think, oh, this dude Kyle's a dumbass. He's a fool. Oh, he's a lame ass dude. And it's just like, I was kind of like really scared to talk about what I've been through because I just felt like people would look at me some way. And, some people did look at me some way. Some people did look at me and they were like, oh, you're lame, this and that. But then some people also, they just looked at me and just considered me a lame before I even got a chance to really show them who I was. So I was very insecure. I was very insecure. And it's like, I'm gonna be honest, it's like, it's foolish, but it's just like, I wanted to be around that ex. Like, as toxic as she was, I felt like at that time she was somebody who understood me best. So I put myself in toxic situations over that. I did. Um, let's just say that saga didn't end in, well, it didn't end until the summer. So it was low key a toxic work environment. Low key, you know. I'm there, my ex is there, her new man is there, and not only that, but then my old friends come back too. Now they're working at Amazon. I'm like, bro, everybody, it's like, shit's just tense and it's just like drama. Me and bro, our beef was not over. It was just not over, and it's just like, it would just do weird. He would just do weird shit. Like, I would be in the car and he'd be walking past talking to somebody. And he would purposely say shit out loud for me to hear. I think he tried to instigate a fight when we were fucking in a food truck line. Like he was talking to some random girl, and he kept on looking back at me or saying something at me. Granted, I don't even know what the fuck he's saying. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but it's just like it doesn't help because like the niggas in the warehouse, they were kind of like looking at me too, like, no, bro, you should fight him. You should not like, and I don't want to fight. Like that's the thing. I don't want to have to fight people. You know, if I can't use my words, then it's just like it ain't nothing. Cause it's like I don't know. But my anger is building up. I have all this frustration and rage already, and then this nigga's here not helping. He's doing weird shit too, and it was just one day like I just said enough was enough. One day, and it's like he did one more weird ass thing. Him and the middleman, like they were just walking in front of me, like, and it's so weird. It's like it's almost like they wanted me to. It's like they wanted me to say something to them. They wanted me to like initiate something with them, but I refused to do it. It's like, look, I knew I was going to be emotional. I already did it once. And I said, this is like, I don't really think I can have a conversation with this person. I think this person is going to insult me and he's going to pick at my insecurities and things. He's just going to try to get me to fight him. So it's like, why talk to him? He says some slick shit when I left him. And that was it. Like I said, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of all this shit. I went to Amazon the next day. I had on my Timbs, bro. I was ready for action. I was ready. So I waited on him. We ended up fighting in Amazon. We ended up getting into a fight at Amazon. Bruh tried to play me, and it's like I got in his face. And it's just like we ended up fighting. Who won? We both lost because we both got fired. We both got fired, and now I can never work in an Amazon warehouse ever again because of that. But what pissed me off the most about that fight is I don't even consider it a fight. It was really a tussle. The nigga just grabbed me. He tried to slam me, but it's like he contained me. He held me down, and he's kind of like he like immobilized me. So I really couldn't move. Like I had my right arm free, but I really couldn't get a good shot on him. Like I could hit him, but it's like it's not really, the shots really aren't connecting. I'm not really doing nothing. It's pissing me off because I'm like, look, when I think we're gonna get into a fight, I'm thinking somebody gonna hit me. I'm thinking, damn, I'm trapped on the ground. This nigga gonna punch me in my face. When I tell you, bro, don't even punch me or nothing. Bro doesn't even punch me or nothing. He just sits on me and holds my arm down. And it's just like, I'm talking shit, bro. It got to a point, I'm laughing. I'm like, all right, bro, get off me. It's like, bro didn't even throw a punch. And then when he did throw a punch, it was the most worked WWE punch ever, bro. I don't even think it connected with me. That's when I really got mad. Cause I'm like, dog, you ain't been trying to hurt me. I'm like, dog, you got me in this position. Hurt me now. Cause if it were me, I would have been ground and pounding him. No diddy. But no, I would have been beating somebody's face in. That's just me. But it's just like, you're not even doing that. So it's kind of like, what's the point? I'm like, we gonna get fired anyway. So like, what's the point? And it's just like, I was mad. I was mad about that shit. But I learned a lot. I really learned a lot. And it's like, it kind of showed me. It's like, I really don't think dude wants to fight me either. But I think he just wants to maintain this persona that he's tough. It's weird to me, but that's how niggas be. Folks just want to look tough, you know? And they really ain't. What's crazy too is bruh try to drop music after that shit too. And I'm like, dog, you not like me. You're not like me. But I learned a lot, and honestly, that's when I really started to finally figure out, like, you know, I kind of like started to get over that. And it's like it became easier to confront him again in the future because I realized it's like you don't like your sense of reality is warped. But yeah, I left, and it's like I just ended up having to do other shit. So I would say, like, I describe it as the bitch and the asshole. The bitch and the asshole were very, very influential for my story. Not in a good way. Not in a good way at all. But a lot of my emotion in my early music comes from those moments, from those situations. So nowadays, it's like when I write, I try to write about my future. I try to write about what I like, the things I'm going for, you know? I feel like with this album, I'm telling my story. You know, maybe not in length like I am here, but it's like I'm giving you more than just, the loner phase. Because that's all that was just my lonely phase, my phase where I didn't trust people, my cautious era. And I'm long from that era. This album is really showing people like me, what I am, what my vibe is, what I really want out of this world. I think y'all see that. I think y'all see that. But a lot of it, I write about heartbreak. I write about, struggle, not maybe it doesn't have to be financial struggle. It can be struggle in any way, emotional, career struggle, just overthinking. Like that's the type of music I make. I try to make music for people like me, shy overthinkers, you know, who just like to ride around their car, hotbox, stuff like that. Like it might seem simple, but that's what I want. That's what I'm going for, and I want to turn that into something greater. If anything, I want to bring something positive into this world with this music. That's why I try to stay on positive topics. I don't talk about fuck these bitches, fuck these niggas. I'm gonna take drugs, this and that and third. Like that's not me. That's really not what I'm about. That's not what I want for this world. Sure, everybody loves a turn up, but like there's a million different ways to turn up. That's just me. I wanna I wanna bring something humane to this world. That's just me. So this has been episode 3 of Who is KT Go Dumb. Um, if you ever ask like why KT be feeling like that, why KT felt like that, this is the episode. This is the episode. You know, for my shy, deep overthinkers out there, my message to y'all is just know you bring value into this world. No matter how small or insignificant you think you or whatever you have going on is, like, it brings value. Somebody in this world will see the value in you. Somebody in this world will see the value in what you bring. But you have to believe in that value as well. Believe in yourself always. So, it ain't Wednesday, but that's my wisdom for y'all. So, I will see y'all next time on Who is KT Go Dumb. Probably be in a different place. Till then, remember your value. Embrace your value.
You go dumb.
Maybe I'm a lost boy stuck where it all began, trying to make peace with the boy who grew to a man, floating through memories I never learned to face, trying to find myself in the pieces out of place, trying to hide pain from the nights that left me scarred, holding on to hope though the world been cold and